Picture this. The sun is coming up, or maybe your alarm just buzzed. You're ready to start your day. But the moment you try to roll out of bed, your body pushes back. For the vast majority of us over the age of 60, the most dangerous part of the day isn't navigating a slippery sidewalk or trying to find a parking spot at a busy supermarket. Surprisingly, the most perilous moments happen right there in your bedroom, in that quiet window of time, roughly the first 5 minutes, after you wake up. We've all felt it. That transition from horizontal sleep to vertical reality is a lot more complicated than we give it credit for. When you first wake up, your body isn't just resting. It's actually emerging from a state of deep physiological hibernation. You might feel that familiar stiffness in your lower back, a sensation that your spinal joints are locked, or perhaps your legs feel unusually heavy and unresponsive. Maybe you even feel a momentary wave of dizziness or balance confusion when you first stand up. Conventional wisdom and plenty of well-meaning friends will tell you that the solution is to just get moving. They'll tell you to lace up your sneakers and go for a brisk walk. And don't get me wrong, walking is fantastic. It's one of the best things you can do for your heart. But relying on a walk as your very first activity of the day is actually a physiological mistake. Here is why. Asking your body to walk on cold muscles and dry joints is like trying to drive a car in the middle of winter without letting the engine warm up. You can do it, but you're going to grind the gears. The science of sleep and why you feel stiff. Let's look at what actually happens to you during those 6 to 9 hours of slumber. While you are dreaming, your body undergoes some significant changes that we need to address before we demand performance from it. First, there's your synovial fluid. Think of this as the oil in your car's engine. It lubricates your joints so they glide smoothly. But overnight, as you lie still, that fluid thickens. It becomes viscous, almost like a gel. If you force movement on that thick fluid, it's abrasive. Second, your circulation slows down. Blood pools in your core to keep your vital organs happy, leaving your hands, feet, and leg muscles with less oxygenation than they need for activity. Third, your nerves go dormant. Your proprioceptors, the tiny nerves that tell your brain where your feet are in relation to the floor, are effectively half asleep. This is why coordination feels a bit clumsy in the morning. And finally, your tissues shorten. Muscles and fascia, that web of connective tissue holding you together, naturally tighten up during inactivity. If we don't address these 4 things before we put our full weight on our feet, we are rolling the dice. We risk joint pain, micro tears in the tissue, and, most critically, we increase the risk of falling. But there is a solution. It's not a high-intensity workout. It's a specific scientifically backed protocol of bed stretches. Think of this not as exercise, but as an activation sequence. We are going to rehydrate the joints, wake up the nervous system, and prepare your body's machinery to handle gravity. Let's walk through the 5 essential movements. We'll start with the foundation and work our way up to the most critical stretch of all. Number 5. The ankle circle and flex, the foundation of your movement. We tend to ignore our ankles until they start hurting. But the reality is, your ankles are the foundation of your entire mobility. For those of us over 60, ankle stiffness isn't just an annoyance, it is a primary driver of disability. There was a pivotal study published back in 2022 by the University of Pittsburgh that shed light on a startling statistic. They found that ankle mobility decreases by about 30% between the ages of 40 and 70. Here is the kicker. That loss of motion is the single top predictor of fall risk in older adults. It actually matters more than your leg strength or your vision. Why? Because when your ankle is stiff, it stops talking to your brain. It delays the signal about what kind of ground you're walking on. If you step on a rug edge or a small toy, a stiff ankle sends the loss of balance signal too late for your brain to correct it. Plus, if your ankles don't move well, your knees and hips have to compensate, which leads to pain further up the chain. So, here is what we do. Lie flat on your back with your legs extended. You can keep a pillow under your head if that's more comfortable. Lift your right leg just a couple of inches off the mattress. Keep the knees straight but soft. Don't lock it out. Now, imagine you are drawing a perfect circle with your big toe. Perform 10 slow, deliberate circles clockwise. Then, reverse it and do 10 circles counterclockwise. After the circles, we're going to pump the gas pedal. Point your toes strongly away from you and hold for 3 seconds. Then, pull your toes back hard toward your shin, really flex that foot, and hold for 3 seconds. Do this 10 times. Then switch to the left leg. Why this works? Dr. Michael Torres, a leading expert in the field, explains that this simple movement does 2 massive things. First, it churns that thick synovial fluid, turning the gel back into a smooth liquid lubricant. Second, it activates the calf muscles. Your calves act like a second heart, pumping blood from your legs back up to your chest. This is the secret to stopping that dizzy feeling you sometimes get when you stand up too fast. Number 4. The supine hamstring release, taking the pressure off your back. Next, let's talk about the backs of your thighs, the hamstrings. In our modern world, we sit a lot. We watch TV, we read, we eat meals sitting down. For many seniors, this adds up to 8 or 10 hours of sitting a day. When you sit, your hamstrings are in a shortened position. Over time, they stay that way. The Mayo Clinic has established a direct link between tight hamstrings and chronic lower back pain. Think of your hamstrings like a cable attached to the bottom of your pelvis. If that cable is too tight, it pulls your pelvis down, which flattens out the natural curve of your lower spine. That flattening puts immense pressure on your vertebrae and discs. Dr. Sarah Micho notes that she sees patients constantly who are getting expensive injections or considering surgery for back pain, when the real culprit is just tight legs. By lengthening the hamstrings, we create slack in the system, allowing the lower back to finally relax. Here is how to do it safely. We do this supine, which is just a fancy word for lying on your back, because standing hamstring stretches can be risky for your balance and often make you round your back. Lie on your back with both knees bent and your feet flat on the mattress. This neutralizes your spine. Now, lift your right leg up and clasp your hands behind your thigh. Hold on above the knee, not right on the joint. Slowly straighten that leg toward the ceiling. Now listen closely. It is perfectly fine if your knee stays slightly bent. We are not trying to be gymnasts here. You just want a gentle stretch in the belly of the muscle. Hold that for 30 seconds. Focus on your breathing. With every long exhale, you try to straighten the leg just a micromillimeter more. Don't force it. Do this twice on each leg. As a bonus, this stretch helps mobilize the sciatic nerve, which can be a game changer if you suffer from mild sciatica. Number 3. The Figure 4 Hip Opener, unlocking the rusty hinge. As we get older, we tend to move in straight lines. We walk forward, we sit down, we stand up. We rarely rotate. Because of this, we lose the ability to open our hips, leading to tightness in the deep rotators, specifically a little muscle called the piriformis. The piriformis is a small muscle deep in your buttock. The sciatic nerve runs right under it and, for some people, right through it. When that muscle gets tight, it strangles the sciatic nerve. This causes shooting pain down the leg, a condition known as piriformis syndrome. It feels exactly like a slipped disc, but it's actually a muscular problem. A 2021 study found that over 70% of adults over 60 have tightness here, and most don't even know it until they are in pain. Dr. James Peterson actually remarked that this specific stretch keeps more patients off the operating table than any other. Let's unlock those hips. Lie on your back with knees bent and feet flat. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. If you look down, your legs should make the shape of the number 4. For many of you, simply pressing your right knee gently away from your body with your hand will be enough of a stretch. If you need more, reach through the gap in your legs, grab the back of your left thigh, and gently pull the whole shape toward your chest. You should feel a deep, satisfying release in your right outer hip. Hold this for 45 seconds to a minute. Let gravity do the work, then switch sides. Because our body is connected by a web of fascia, you might be surprised to find that releasing your hips actually reduces tension in your neck and shoulders too. It's all connected. Number 2. The spinal twist decompression, hydrating your discs. Now, let's treat your spine. Your spine is made of vertebrae separated by discs, little gel-filled shock absorbers. Here is the fascinating thing about discs. They don't have a good blood supply. They don't have veins pumping nutrients into them. Instead, they rely on a process called imbibition. Think of a sponge. To get fresh water into a sponge, you have to squeeze the dirty water out and then let it expand to soak up the fresh water. Your discs work the same way. A prominent MRI study from UCSF showed that people who did twisting movements had significantly thicker, healthier discs than those who just walked. Walking compresses the spine, but twisting wrings it out and hydrates it. Without rotation, discs get dry and brittle. Let's do the twist. Lie on your back and extend your arms out to the sides like a letter T. This anchors your upper body. Bend your knees and place your feet flat on the bed. Keep your knees and ankles glued together. Now, keeping your shoulders flat on the mattress, slowly lower both knees to the right side. Go only as far as is comfortable. You don't have to touch the bed. Here is the key. Turn your head to look toward your left hand. This creates a beautiful spiral from your tailbone all the way to the base of your skull. So breathe deeply into the side of your rib cage for 45 seconds, then bring your knees back to center and drop them to the left while looking right. Do this twice on each side. Not only is this good for your back, but it also aids digestion. The twisting motion massages your internal organs and helps get things moving in the morning. Number 1. The knee to chest liberation. The most critical stretch of all we have arrived at. The number 1 most critical exercise of the routine. This movement targets the psoas, pronounced Psoas, muscle. The psoas is often called the hidden crisis muscle. It is the only muscle in the human body that connects your upper body, your spine, to your lower body, your legs. It's the muscle that lifts your leg to walk. The problem? Sitting destroys the psoas. When we sit, the psoas shortens. Over decades, it becomes chronically tight. A tight psoas pulls on your lower spine constantly, compressing the discs and grinding the joints. A 2023 study from Harvard Medical School looked at seniors with chronic back pain. They found that a whopping 83% of them had a tight psoas. But here is the good news. After just 4 weeks of doing this simple stretch, 61% reported a meaningful reduction in pain. But there is a mental component too. The psoas is biologically linked to your fight or flight response. When you get stressed, you instinctively curl into a ball. That's your psoas contracting. Conversely, if your psoas is tight, it sends a signal to your brain that you are in danger, which creates low-level anxiety. Stretching it signals safety to your brain. Here is the movement. Lie flat on your back with your legs fully extended. Bend your right knee and interlace your fingers around your shin or behind the thigh if you have knee trouble. Gently pull that knee toward your chest. Pay attention to your lower back right now. As you pull the knee in, you should feel your lower back flatten comfortably against the mattress. That feeling? That is your spine decompressing. Hold this for 45 seconds. Visualize the tension melting out of your lower back with every exhale. Lower that leg slowly and do the left side. Finally, bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock a little side to side if it feels good. Hold that for 1 minute. It is immediate relief. The secret ingredient: how to breathe. Before I let you go, I need to mention the glue that holds this all together: your breath. You'll notice I kept mentioning breathing. This isn't accidental. When we rush, we take short, shallow breaths. This triggers the sympathetic nervous system, the stress response. By synchronizing these bed stretches with slow, deep breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, you are doing more than just stretching muscles. You are training your nervous system. You are telling your body, we are calm, we are safe, we are ready. You are effectively lowering your cortisol levels before your day even begins. Conclusion: taking back your morning. There is a false narrative out there that getting older simply means accepting pain and stiffness. While we can't stop the clock, we can certainly maintain the machinery. Think of this routine as your daily tune-up. It takes about 10 to 12 minutes. You don't need any equipment. You don't even need to leave your bed. By spending these few minutes on your ankles, hamstrings, hips, spine, and psoas, you aren't just stretching. You are empowering yourself. You are ensuring that when your feet finally do hit the floor, you are stable, you are fluid, and you are truly ready to enjoy the day. So, tomorrow morning, before you reach for the coffee, give your body these 12 minutes. Your future self will thank you for it.